So, I went back to the Sonic Symphony. They came back to London after a year, and after going last time and then promising I would literally go to France, if that was the only way I could see it again, I couldn't not go, you know? Last time was genuinely something magical, and I still kicked myself for not getting as much footage as I could have. So, we have to know that this time, not only was the show just as good, but I also managed to get more footage so I can make a proper video out of it this time. But first, I had to round my friends up.
The trains down were simple enough. I've been fortunate enough to be able to make it to London on the train before, so it wasn't uncharted territory. I kind of knew what I was doing this time. But you know, that doesn't stop it from being any less interesting.
My cat has decided to follow me to Sonic Symphony. But Rob is here. Rob is here. He's escorting me to the bus. I cannot believe this, honestly. It's crazy. Bro. Look at him move. Look at him move. So this is my favourite bit about getting a train anyway, because like, we just come down the sketchy as fuck how he gets to the station. And it's genuinely inspiring. I love the alley. As much as if I came down here past 7 o'clock, I would be convinced I was going to get bugged. Like the aesthetic here is immaculate. And look, better yet, train tracks. Even though there's a massive train the way there is, in fact, there's the train. Well, not mine, but you know, one of them.
I mean, like, is it even really a video on this channel if I'm not vlogging every single inconsequential thing I find mildly interesting the entire time? Because, that's exactly what I did, seriously. I shot 2 hours of footage and I was gone for 24. And I was sleeping for like 9 of those hours, that's mental. And by all means, I could have filmed to my heart's content. But that didn't stop my leg cramping on what I would argue is probably the most miserable looking train journey in history. This is not edited. This is how the train looked. It was very miserable. I took a chance to catch some Z's instead because I definitely knew I wasn't going to be sleeping that night. The excitement was going to keep me awake until 4, I could feel it. And so with a little more sleep under my belt and a very, very painful cramp in both of my legs, a few short hours later, me and the boys were in London Euston Station and ready for business. Well, ready-ish. Finding my way around the underground is still a complete enigma, but without much hassle, we were ready for this.
We're in the underground. I love the underground. Oh, we picked up another one, by the way.
I'm scared.
We all are. With the 3 of us and none of us have a clue how to use the underground, but that's part of the fun, really. The train just left. Come in. There'll be another one in 2 minutes because we're in London. Hooray.
We had to make it from around the Euston area into the Hammersmith underground station, which wasn't too bad, and then after that, literally everything we needed for the next day was within a 10-minute walk of each other. So after we got off the train, we headed round the corner to check into the hotel we'd be staying at, got changed, and then dropped our stuff off in the room, which felt far too nice to have 3 20-something Northerners in it for the price we got it at.
Check out the bathroom. Oh, this. Oh my. What the? That is huge. What on earth? Complimentary. This is luxury, and those are chips. What the? Okay, Novotel London West. I was not familiar with your freak. This is crazy.
And then we set off on the 10-minute journey around the corner to Wetherspoons.
Because of course we did.
So we're out in London. We've swapped into the Ryuji shirt. It's very nice and fancy, wouldn't you agree?
It is very nice and fancy.
See, she's dressed properly and I'm dressed like this. We're on 2 different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I'm fashion incarnate and she's whatever she's doing.
I swear, Wetherspoons is the most consistent experience you will find at a pub in the UK. The food is consistently good enough, and the drinks are consistently cheap and also good enough. It's great. So we spent the hour or so before the concert was due to start and doors would open in there. But either way, once we were done, we literally just then had to walk across the street and a little bit more to get into the venue. And that is where the atmosphere started to happen. Once we were literally surrounded by hundreds of Sonic fans, you could start to feel the same sort of energy from last year's London concert. Like, you could tell that everybody was dead excited to be there, and some of the effort that was going into the outfits I saw was so mental. It was just like, hell yeah!
Like, this might be hard to put into words if you've never been to like a Sonic event or something adjacent, but the atmosphere was like genuinely electric. It was like a feedback hoop of people being hyped. It's like I was hyped, my friends were hyped, everybody else there was hyped. You know, the outfits, the atmosphere, it just fed into a continual loop of good vibes and genuinely being excited. And I don't think I can match that like anywhere else on earth. Sonic fans are simply just cool. Hot take of the video. And yeah, also, weird side tangent, I'm pretty sure where the concert was, they used to film Britain's Got Talent there. So at the very least, you know, I can rest easy knowing that that venue was used for something good eventually.
So we shuffle in and eventually find our seats. We did miss a little bit of the Sonic 1 medley of the orchestra part because the line was so long to get in, but once we were seated, the following 2.5 hours were just pure serotonin. The orchestra, albeit a little shorter than last year's, was just as good, and I mean, you know, it'd be rude to not share at least a little.
Whoever was sat a few rows behind me and started singing Seaside Denied during the Seaside Hill part of the medley, I just want you to know that you are a national treasure, because I wish I had the balls to do that. I'm not sure I've made it abundantly clear enough, but I am a very big sucker for Heroes. I'm pretty sure that was an arrangement just for the London show, so it's like, why is Fortnite loading? Get out. I need to read my script. We were reading good. I mean, just see for yourselves. Act is if we added an Unleashed medley of some sort, or you know, 06 and Chorus 2, I guess. Because a lot of the games from that era are just very orchestra focused. I think it would make the most sense out of any game to give those the treatment, because like they're practically already arranged for the orchestra-ish. I understand why. Obviously, they've got to, make sure they get the retro stuff in, because that's not got too much vocal stuff. So then, they can put them all on stuff in the forward part of the show. It kind of is how it is, and they've only got so much time. We have to vacate after some point, either because there's a curfew or Simon Cowell needs to come and film on Britain's Got Talent. But the organisers have floated the idea of having the show be split into 2 shows. I'm not sure if they're seriously considering that or not. I know I would attend both of them because then they both get time to breathe. Alternatively, if this video ends up making its way to any member of the team like last year's did, I'm happy to pay double or more for my ticket for a 4 to 5 hour show. By all means.
So anyhow, after the first act was finished, the intermission started. It was about 20 minutes, and I took the chance to at least try and get a drink from one of the very crowded bars, and also try and get some merch. But unfortunately, the t-shirt I wanted was only left in a small. The universe apparently wanted me to keep the Ryuji fit on for some reason, and with a obscenely priced pint of Pepsi Max, I sat down on my seat and let the second act begin. Now, if you've seen the video I made last year about the symphony, you'll know all about how I lost my voice badly the day after. And the entire time I was thinking, is it gonna happen again? What's the second act gonna open with? They surely wouldn't open with I Am All of Me twice and immediately kill my voice out of the gate, would they? Well, it's the year of Shadow, so of course the thing did.
And in case you were wondering, yes, of course we all cheered when Maria got shot. I also figured it'd be wrong if I didn't mention the sheer amount of just completely out there guest stars we had for our thing. course, last year we had Jun Suno and Tomohiro Otani, one of which I go further with. I'm still chuffed over that, if you can't imagine. But this year we had Richard Jacks and TJ Davis, who I believe worked on a lot of the Sonic car music, and they came out and performed a medley of those, which was really cool. From what I can see, that's not the first time they've performed together since, like, I think 2008, 2009-ish, so that was insane. I definitely need to brush up on my Sonic car knowledge after that, because this was very good live. And then, of course, Otani showed up as well. Jun Suno, I think he was at TGS performing, you know, new stuff from Sonic X Shadow Generations, which we did see a brief trailer of, by the way. We got to hear Echo's voice. But, you know, Tomohiro Otani's in attendance. What's the natural conclusion? Because if you said doing all 4 of the Titan themes from Sonic Frontiers back to back, you'd be correct. Yeah, there's a reason I'm filming this multiple days after the symphonies, because my voice was gone. We had Escape from the City, and we had One Way Dream, which I thought was quite weird. And then of course we had like Live and Learn. You know, most vocal themes were performed. The only thing that rattled me is that they skipped kind of 2 hours opening for. So I'm a big fan of Open Your Heart and Night of the Wind, both of which were there last year. But unfortunately, because of the sheer amount of stuff in this act, like seriously, the show was like stuffed to the brim, and those ended up getting the boot. So I will cross my fingers and hope they're there next year, because they were really good last year. So yeah, again, if anybody from the team is watching this, please, I'll pay double. Not even for a longer show, just please play Night of the Wind next year. Take all my money. Oh, also because it's the year of Shadow, and Shadow Generations releases in literally a few days. Yeah, they did a lot of songs from Shadow the Hedgehog. Again, maybe I should get around to finishing that game. I think in the last video, I'm pretty sure I said I went and bought a copy of Shadow the Hedgehog because the show inspired me that much. Yeah, I should probably get around to finishing it, but still, they built all the Shadow songs. It's pretty cool to hear. I only did, of course, I'm a big fan, but Yeah, it was good. It was very cool. The energy was there. And we were in the stalls this time. I'm sure you've been receiving the footage. We were a lot closer. And yeah, it was cool. Some of the people I stopped to speak to were really nice. It was a genuinely great time. And I'm just going to throw in some more miscellaneous clips now because it was that good. I can't not share it with you all, you know?
I ain't gonna let it get to me, I'm just gonna creep down from the hill, I'm gonna find my own peace. I know that it's here, I'm meant my feet. The great emperor's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I gotta hold my hand, cause I have no fear. This body's crazy, crazy, graveyard theory. The closest you can approach me, you're not really. But I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself, won't rely on others. Even will be waiting until eternity is restored. This is my plan, I shall not surrender. The storm and story. I am where I am, reaching far across these new frontiers. With my life, with my hands I hold the ones I love. Walk forward through the dark. Always till you arrive. Who's your spirit off the ground? I lost more than won't go out. We can go much higher now. Gravity can hold us down. We're only at the beginning of this one-way dream.
Yeah, so if you can't already tell, it was very good. In fact, I felt like I was robbing them for only being able to get a ticket for just under £100. Like, it was that good, I left the venue feeling as though I should have owed them more money, because for a show that good, to only pay as little as I did felt like I was scamming them. It was that good.
So we're out. It was very fucking good.
It was so good.
That's
I
your
don't
cue.
have a voice anymore.
That was your cue to say it was also very
It
good.
was also very good.
Yeah, we were sat next to like the coolest motherfucker of all time in a full-on Jet cosplay.
It was so cool.
We exchanged two
It was so
sentences,
cool.
but he's my favourite person ever.
The Jet was awesome.
Yeah, like look at that.
They even lit it up as a rainbow, just for us.
We
Yeah.
also got like little friendship bracelets. I got one with Chow on it.
And
I found you, Faker.
it's inedible, but it does say that. Inreadable. But yeah, we're gonna go through Weatherspoons and possibly get drunk with a lot of other Sonic fans.
Spoons.
Tequila Rose.
Yeah, so I might put a lock on my camera app so that doesn't make it into whatever this is.
I won't. Check my Twitter.
It's very good. Our voices are going to be going the one and go get drunk with presumably all the Sonic fans. See you in a bit.
Anyway, so if you think the fun ends after the concert is over, you'd be wrong. And again, that energy from before kind of just kept going throughout the night. It kind of felt surreal, and so on our way out, it took a decent while to get outside of the concert hall. But yeah, no, the vibe continued. The concert didn't end, and it went off. No, like these were like, I think 3,000-ish Sonic fans kind of just curating around London, and the vibe is unmatched. So you may be wondering, what did we do after the concert was done? Sure, we just go back to the hotel room right now. We're British, of course. We went to the immediate nearest Weatherspoons. So yeah, that was great, and we had some good times. Shout out to the table directly in front of us, who had been in the UK for a few hours and spent most of it in that Weatherspoons drinking 8 bottles of white wine. National heroes, as far as I'm concerned. And then also we did speak to some Sonic fans throughout the night as well. They were super cool. And yeah, seriously, the vibes just kept going. I probably drank a little bit more than I should. I'm the lightest weight you'll ever meet. But no, we made ourselves back to the hotel room, and it was chill. You know, it was nice.
I need to talk into a camera, right? So we were in the Spoons, and I made a tweet about the Jet cosplay we were next to, and I was like, bro, I'd buy him a pint for that cosplay. And then that guy comes in and sits down at the table next to us, and I'm like, oh.
It's
So-
like really funny because like for about an hour we're like, you're just like, oh my god.
Like,
Is
yeah,
that
no,
the
because
person?
I'm
like,
sorry.
yes, it is.
Yeah, no, because I'm sorry. There were like 50 million people in London, the capital of England, known as London, and then he just walks in and sits down next to us, which I was there like, is this scripted? And it's not. He just walks in with like the thing on his eyes, so I kind of clocked it. And I just tweeted about buying him a pint, and I offered, but like the bar was closed by the time we got talking. So that's insane. And then we started talking to his friend. He was dead sick. Like we got to talking, we got to yapping. It was cool. He was sick. And then we were talking to two other people at that table. Who again? They were on Sonic. They were dripped out. But they were organising a Sonic convention next week called Sonicon in Manchester, which is at 3 hours away.
I'm home on Friday, which means we can go.
I didn't realise the raw joy that could come from talking to random people in a Wetherspoons at 1 a.m. in London.
Being social is worth it.
It is. Unfortunately, that's mostly spilled on my alcohol. However, that shit's gonna stick with me for life. That was insane. A car park and somebody else matched my heart. Hey. Yeah, no, easily best night. We're probably gonna have some like hotel room shenanigans, not like that. But no, that was insane. Honestly, I think YouTube would be right to have a table of that people next to us that we then like gets talking with. Does that happen? Is this simply the Great British Story of the pub? I don't know.
This
it was
is
insane.
why people go to pub.
It is.
Go pub.
This is
If
why
you
people
live-
go pub.
Oh, by the way, those two are plastered.
live in a
I drank and then
local
felt sick, so I stopped.
area-
Yeah, basically, what I've taken away is that life is actually beautiful. Wouldn't you two agree?
Life is beautiful.
Life is beautiful, and don't let anybody take that away from
wanna
you.
go to sleep.
This was a profound experience that will change me as a person forever. Because the symphony was good. I wish they played Open Your Heart and what I'm made of. But this is a profound experience that has changed me forever as a person. But the pub afterwards and those 40 minutes worth of conversation with those guys and the women that had drank 8 bottles of wine on the other table next to us, that is what life is all about.
Just as a final closing thought tonight, while we're watching, well, there's nothing else good on, so we thought we'd watch Roulette and try and guess what the next number was for like 5 minutes. It's been an hour and a half. But yeah, closing note, tonight genuinely doesn't feel real. It was so good. But see you in the morning when I'm probably a little less tipsy, more awake, and we have a train to get back. See ya.
I mean, by the way, just shout out to the hotel in general. It was crazy. Like that TV was huge. We ended up watching a Kitchen Nightmares rerun on it, which was pretty cool. That was super comfy, complimentary mini bar, and it's like, you know, it's like I think this is too posh for 320 something Northerners to be staying in for the price we got it at, which was like barely over £200, and it's like, all right, okay. And yeah, eventually, I stayed up a lot later than I should have because I was just running off pure hype from the show. Again, just throwing in another clip of us screaming from the concert really quick. It was hype, but eventually around 4 AM, I clock out. And you'd think that'd be the end of it. You'd think, okay, at that point, you know, we wrap this video up. You know, we go home, we overlay the footage, namaste, end of, great time. And I highly recommend you guys go if you're given the chance. And my last video nudged a fair few of my friends that aren't from the UK to go, and they all said it was great. So seriously, if you didn't go after I told you what to do it in a video last year, please go when you get the chance. The show just keeps getting better, and hey, who knows, I might make it 4 hours at some point. I'm allowed to be delusional once per video. But the fun didn't end there. See, the hotel gave me and my friends free welcome drinks for some reason. Mind we were staying one night. And we were having them in the morning. And in the distance, I was like, huh, I think that's Shota Nakama. I decided, you know what, I'm a bit rough. You know, bro's probably tired from like a night of meeting Sonic fans and taking selfies. I'm not going to bother him, and I'm also not 100% it's him. So, you know, we'll leave him to our devices, we finished our Pepsis, we take our bags, we leave and what have you. And then it turns out it was him, because it turned out he was literally staying in the same hotel as us. So I did pass up my chance to get a photo with him. But at the same time, I feel as it was respectful, because that day was, yeah, I'll just let the footage speak for itself. Yeah, I don't think drinking London tap water to rehydrate after going to Spoons was a wise, clever, or necessary decision, considering we had bottled water in the minibar. But I did, and boy did we feel the consequences.
And now for the bonus part, which was the trip back. See, the trip there was really nothing to write home about. Again, I've already made a full travel vlog about going to London that goes more in depth. But the trip back was something special. See, we woke up in the morning and immediately, me and one of my other friends were not feeling all too well, but we thought, that's probably just hunger, and definitely not all the alcohol in our system from last night. So we thought, yeah, we'll go to a Tesco Express, get a meal deal, and then, you know, we could slowly chow down on that through the day. Problem, Tesco Express was closed, so we went to the nearest other food place, which was a McDonald's. I didn't win anything on the Monopoly, in case you were wondering, but we sat down and quickly realised that no, we went hungry. we were feeling the consequences of our actions. So with about a fifth of a chicken and bacon crispy wrap in my system, and maybe at most about 10 chips, we decided, you know, the time is now. Let's just get back home before we have the chance to feel any worse, and before I make the mistake of drinking any more London tap water. So we get on the tube, we know what station we need to get to. We need to go to Euston, and then we can transfer to the National Euston thing. It all makes decent sense. We're just doing basically yesterday's journey in reverse. The only issue is we got a different line than the one in. I can't remember the one off the top of my head. But it certainly likes to jump up and down a lot more than the tube we used to get to Hammersmith. And I'll just let the video speak for itself. Neither of us look very okay. Like, we can laugh about it now, but realistically, it was taking all my willpower to hold it together and just not have a mental break there. It was a rough, I want to say 15 minutes, but it felt like 2 hours.
The next station is Blackwood.
Mind the gap.
I don't want to live anymore.
Yeah, we've just come away from the fact that A, this train jumps, and B, we've got to go downhill. I don't think either of us are making it down the hill, are we?
This train tilts so it can travel faster.
Yeah, we're both cooked.
And, yeah, then we got to the Euston station. Which, minor aside, why did they turn the old departure board into a massive advertising screen? Like, I'm sure somebody made a lot of money, but it makes it significantly harder to be able to keep track of what trains are going where, when the old screen displayed significantly more than the new screens do. Yeah, I'm not too big a fan of London Euston Station, if you can't guess. But it didn't matter. Eventually, through raw perseverance of using Google to find out what train we were meant to be on, we were able to get on our train back home, which, again, if you've familiarly gone into London at any point, you'll know that about the half an hour in and out of London Euston Station is also quite a rough train ride, which I was not enjoying at all in the slightest. Also, because we were on open returns, we didn't have reserved seats for this one, whereas we did on the way there. But thankfully, we were able to snag some, and this time, we could see the sun, we could see the outside world. It was all very appreciated, and it was just kind of standard fare from there. Again, my leg cramped a little bit less, maybe not being shoved in the back left corner of the carriage helped. But, you know, we survived the train journey. The train Wi-Fi was about as abysmal as ever, seriously. I still cannot fathom why on earth they would block Spotify of all things. And then we got into Preston, and then caught our connection to our local station. And that was that. Again, it was a very fun time. I'm very happy I did shoot the in-between stuff, because I like picking up the moments around just the symphony. It was a genuinely good time. I think that is, once again, in contention for one of the best nights of my life. And again, I've said this in the parts I didn't shoot as voiceover, but if you do get the chance to go, then I highly do suggest you go. It's something unrivaled. I'm sure that is, you know, something that other fandoms get to experience. I think Zelda has one. I think, like, Final Fantasy has one. I'm sure I'm missing 10 million other video game orchestras. I know Splatoon does, you know, the live thing with the holograms, but there's something about the Sonic fanbase and the Sonic music that just, I don't think anything could reasonably surpass this. The best anything else could hope to do is match the Sonic Symphony, because I don't think you can get better than something that is literal perfection. And maybe that's just my nostalgia for the franchise talking, but genuinely, this is definitely going to be one of those things that I remember for years and years and years to come, and probably won't shut up to my kids about when I'm, like, old and grey. And also, it was definitely one of the better days of my life yet again. So seriously, hats off to all the team behind the show. They once again pulled off something that I literally cannot fault beyond not having enough time. Which, if the only fault I have is that there was too much good music that they couldn't fit into one show, then personally, I don't think that should even be a complaint at all.
Genuinely though, to wrap this up, Sonic Symphony remains, I would argue, the best celebration of Sonic there is. You know, like, there are conventions all up and down the country that I should probably get into going at some point, being entirely honest, because I'm sure the atmosphere there is, like, just as electric. But I love Sonic. I love Sonic for as long as I can. So I got a Knuckles keyring. I won it at Pier after putting far too many 2Ps in a machine. I have a Knuckles G Fuel flavour. It's alright, actually, it's a bit sour. And of course I have a Sonic lamp that I was just kind of casually tossing around last time, plus many copies of many games and many hours of footage of me playing said games. Genuinely, I love it. And, you know, this is the second time I've made a video talking about when I went, trying to encourage you guys to go. We are not sponsored. Though I'm not opposed to being. But it's such a good celebration of a franchise. A lot of people hold there. And they did a little section in the show where they asked when people started playing the series. And there were people as soon as, like, you know, the most recent 5 years, all the way back to 1991. And they just put together the fan base as, you know what I mean? It was just, the entire fan base could enjoy it. It was something cool. There was a lot of stuff for the old people, the younger people. And I just think that's very cool. I hope it goes on. Yeah, I would say indefinitely. No, they probably want to move on to different projects at some point, but I hope it like keeps living on, at least in spirit, for a while. That original live stream was so good, and I would love the Sonic Symphony to keep on going. Of course, I assume they probably will, so long as there was demand. Our show was sold out, so you know, what do I know? And I mean, yeah, if you get the chance to go, I said this last year, but genuinely go. If you're a Sonic fan, whether you're new, old, whether you know the lyrics to most of the songs, even if you just know the choruses, it is damn worth your time. And also, if you're able to get into Wetherspoons afterwards for obscenely cheap alcohol, it is unmatched. Just don't drink the tap water in the hotel, because London's water system, I'm now told, is not very good. So I suppose if there's any sort of takeaway to this video, it's that to expect a third part of this next year, because apparently this is becoming a reoccurring thing. Hopefully it's going next year and they come back to London, or hey, I won't complain if I don't have to wait a year. I will happily go back sooner. Although I also won't complain about there being one slightly closer to me, like Manchester or Liverpool, because London's a far way away. But it doesn't matter. It's such a good celebration of a series that has such good music. And again, the fans, they are all very, very cool. Seriously, the Symphony always puts me in a good mood for multiple days afterwards. This is the second time it's done so now. And the last time I was in such a big Sonic mood, I ended up buying a copy of Shadow the Hedgehog for GameCube. Should probably finish playing through that at some point. But yeah, seriously, even if you're on the fence about whether you want to go or not, I would highly recommend going. You can always brush up on the lyrics beforehand. You know, I mean, that might make you more excited, I don't know. But it's worth it. It genuinely is one of the best experiences I've had because it's just cool. It brings together a community of generally very cool people for a night of just enjoying some really cool music from a franchise that means so much to so many people. And I think that is really effing cool. My offer from last time does still stand, by the way. If they don't come back to the UK in a timely manner, I will happily fly to Sao Paulo, to Chicago, wherever the next one is, if it means I get to watch more Sonic Symphony, because it's that good. It's that good. I can't not only go twice, you know? We gotta at least go for the hat trick. It's like, I've done 2 of these and I still think I'm selling the show a little bit short. So seriously, the only advice I can give you is go and experience it yourself in person, because the videos I've took in my recollection, that is only a fraction of it, just like it was last year. And again, as always, a message to anybody who's called off to stop and chat with me, and especially to the organisers of the show, whether you're in the orchestra section, the rock band section, organising behind the scenes. Genuinely thank you for putting on such a good show for the 2nd year running. I cannot wait for you guys to come back to London, and yeah, I heavily look forward to presumably next September, where I'll be once again in the crowd with 3,000 plus Sonic fans, absolutely belting out Live and Learn. Right back.